Hey guys, welcome back. Reese and Ben here at Pursuing Athlete Arts, and today in the video we're going to be covering our time at the Manhattan, Kansas, covering the group melee. Our friends, the Broken Arm Academy of Swordsmanship, invited us down to take part in their group melee, and we did some really cool scenario-based deals involving unit combat. So it's a really great time, and we're going to delve into what we learned.
Yeah, Robert set this event up to have basically 3 separate scenarios to keep it interesting. It started out with an open field battle, as if a group on Chevauché maybe possibly ran into a scout group that was keeping an eye out, and we had a battle on an open field. So we had to experience dealing with each other in an open environment where there's no barriers or anything to interrupt the fighting. Obviously, we're in fairly small groups, so it makes some of the unit stuff a little difficult because we can't stack up quite as much as we probably would like to. But it definitely gives us a little experience and that way to have a little bit of fun. The second part of the scenario is after the open field battle had happened. We would have arrived to the next choke point in the natural terrain, which was a bridge. So to simulate that, they set up barriers on either side, and we acted out as if we were fighting on a bridge. So the edges of the bridge were off limits. If you stepped under the barrier, it was considered you fell off the bridge into the water and drowned probably. So then we had to fight in the confines of a restricted space. That stopped flanking and the ability for us to move laterally. So we were stuck in that direct frontal assault, which changed the strategy, the way we fought a little bit. The third and final part is after the bridge battle happened. Then in the scenario, the opposing team had reached the town that they were getting ready to invade, and we had to fight in a gate. So the barriers were oriented into a fashion that showed a wall and an entry point for a gate, and we were allowed to fight over the gate, over the wall to the people in the gate, but for the most part, the defenders had the advantage of being able to defend a small area and focus their force there, and that was the end scenario. And then, of course, for every situation, we all switched sides, so each of us had to, on the ones that had variable, I guess, just for the gate, we'd actually switch sides to make sure that we were fighting equally. One got to defend the gate, one got to attack the gate.
Yeah, and you'll see in this video too, the same thing as last group melee. It's a mixture of armor types. So we had people that did just like kind of standard sort of tournament blow-spected kit, and then we had some people with just a helmet, maybe gauntlets on, and all that. So it was really interesting again to play with that sort of mixed armor types. So of course we're in a full harness, and that obviously played a big advantage.
Also, because of the mixture in kits, we had to be careful about the way we used force and how we targeted individuals. For instance, the poleaxes we were using are the same poleaxes we used for harness, and they're really not suitable for a fencing mask.
Nope.
So we had to be very careful. Most of the attacks we would do on people in fencing masks were we attempted to poke them in the face or body rather than actually hammer them in the head, which would have been faster and more efficient. But obviously it was not pleasant in a fencing mask. We did have a couple times people got popped with the fencing mask with a poleaxe, which was we found was a little too much. Yeah. So we did have to limit some of our technique and the way we do things because of the mixture. But that's also us ironing out safety equipment. Once we figure out.
Yeah, this is our sort of second time doing this, so we wanted to have it to where we were accommodative for everybody to participate, and safety was our primary concern. You guys will see the footage now. video. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. We certainly had a lot of fun making it. We always like to take part in these bigger group melees. Give us an opportunity to work more on technique and an understanding of how this would have gone down in the Middle Ages. So you guys seem to really like the last video on group melee, the one at C7, and we told you guys that we want to expand on that further, and this is it. So we're going to kind of go into now what we learned along the way, and yeah. So starting off, I learned this time I got to be on Ben's side. So last time I was kind of fighting against Ben, and what was really cool for me, I primarily stuck with axe, but he kind of changed off between spear and axe. So what was really neat for me, my role with axe was I was going to hook and pull weapons down, and he was going to thrust in. And what was also really cool for me was that since Ben is a lot more armored than I am in his S18 harness, he provided cover for me. So when I was in this position here, I had a direct shot to my elbow or my armpit with his bigger pauldron on his left side showing forward. He was able to protect me, and then I act as my shield. So actually worked really, really well.
Yeah, we found that staying tight in the group, obviously not so tight that you can't move, but staying very close to each other, you actually cut off the line to your partner standing next to you from the guy that's standing diagonal to him. If you leave the line or you spread a gap and you open up, as soon as you open up, your line opens to the person that's diagonal from you, and suddenly they can throw a shot in while you're looking at this guy over here, and they can catch you when you're unaware. If you stay tight, you really only have to worry as much about the person directly in front of you. So it gives you less people to worry about. Now you can still get hit from people from an angle, as things open up and things are happening, but you greatly reduce your chances of getting hit because my armor actually protects my partner, and his armor actually protects me. We were like as the Romans used the shield wall. We are the shield wall with our bodies, and that's what we're doing is using our bodies to protect the guys behind us, because ideally we would have also guys behind us with spears and stuff. We just didn't have enough people for that.
Yeah, you guys saw that we had a lot more lightly armored people, and from the beginning we agreed that they would get between us. So they had like spears, something a little more range. So our job was to again be those shields, and they would go between us to thrust in and catch points and stuff. So really kind of neat realm of that in that sense that we're trying to protect them, but also protect each other at the same time. So
it's interesting when you actually get coordination, and you're having an exchange, and your partner can actually hook a guy's weapon and pull it down, and when he pulls it down, the guy's currently defenseless, and you can attack him, which actually works out really well when you coordinate it, especially if you get your timing right, because it's that split second that his weapon gets pulled down that you jam your weapon in there and get something, and then you have to turn and deal with the guy that's trying to hit you from over here and start defending both of you at that time, while he's retrieving his weapon to continue, hooking or attacking as the case may go.
Yeah.
So definitely having some coordinated effort seems to be a benefit.
Yeah, and we learned pretty quickly on, you guys saw in the beginning of the video, people tried to kind of separate and try to flank, and Ben and I just kind of stayed at the bulk of the unit. So that actually worked really well. I thought, having this together as a unit, and what you see in the historical artwork too, they don't really just kind of scatter. It's better to fight in a unit, several rows ideally, not just more than two. But we had about 2 rows, more or less. So, but it worked out really, really well, and especially when you have people who know their role and know their kind of limitations. So having the more armored guys up front, they're better suited to take that sort of that front of the force, and me with axe, him with spear, me hooking, all this kind of thing. So also in the footage you saw me, even the last one too, I held my axe up high. You do see this in historical artwork where they have their axes way high. And there's a reason for this, because if I had it low, stand up kind of toward a brawl motion, I go back, I could hit my partner next to me, which is not what you want. So, and then also being in this kind of position here, you can get tangled with other weapons and stuff. So typically have it choked up on the bottom of the Q end, and that allows you to get you range, but also has you not hit your partner and get your weapon tangled up.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, overall, really eye-opening experience. We hope to do more.
Yeah.
It's always been a question of just getting enough people to attend.
Yeah.
So, but what's really neat is that now we're getting into the realm of having less armored people attend, participate. So, before people were thinking that I had to have a full kit in order to participate, and that's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's the melee things are really fun because they allow at events that we're having where we do deeds of arms, and the deeds of arms were a very formal way for higher status, guys that are fully armored to have show off exchanges with each other and show their skill basically to employers and to their peers to show how good they were. So we're kind of emulating that, and also in the judicial duel format, and that doesn't leave a good window for people that don't have full kits. But doing the melees and the lower armored events, we actually can bring them together with us, and we can all do the same thing together and have a good time.
Yep.
And then we can have our own separate little bit of events, so that worked out really well from that last event. So this one in particular was focused solely on the melee, which is something that we're just working out the rules and how to play it out so that everybody's as safe as you can be, but as realistically as we can execute technique and stuff.
And I'd like to add, we got Robert and those guys from Broken Arm Academy of Swordsmanship did an excellent job. This is a very smoothly run event. I liked how they changed it up.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a just melee unit thing all the time. With the bridge scenario and then the gate scenario, that was a lot of fun. So look forward to doing that again. Hopefully it will grow, and hopefully we'll do some more like this in the future.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they also did a really good job at keeping an eye out or marshaling to make sure that safety concerns were addressed quickly. Everybody, of course, everybody that does these, we're doing it in good spirit. So we're all doing our best to be as safe as we can. But they were good to take people's concerns in and then address them with the group, immediately and firmly, so that everybody understands that this is the rule and the way we need to do it. They also facilitated very well. They provided us with a tent to put our gear in, and we did have a little bit of rain off and on that day.
yeah.
And it was nice to be able to scurry into a tent and keep the armor as dry as we could, because getting rust off your armor always sucks.
Yeah. No one wants to maintain your stuff.
So yeah, they did definitely a great job facilitating. We were definitely looking forward to more events out there like that.
Yeah. So thanks again to those guys. They did an excellent job, and we look forward, like I said, to doing more of these in the future. So Ben and I are looking into studying this more. We know that historically knights would study ancient Roman tactics. So there's a couple books we're looking into right now, and we hope to research that more in depth.
Yeah.
And if you guys would like to have a video on that discussing it, let us know down in the comments below, and we'll get around to doing that. And so quick announcement, coming up here in I want to say May. Yes, May. At our Deed of Arms. Last time you guys saw the Deed of the Swan Knight. It's happening again in Lacine, and this year Ben and I will be teaching Le Jeu de la Hache, the play of the axe. So this is our first time teaching at the event. So super excited, super stoked to take part in this. If you guys would like to come out to this event, be sure you register on that page and check it out. You get to meet us. We'll teach you a couple things. We'll have Deed of Arms. We have the medieval feast. I believe we have some archery and stuff lined up too. So it's a really awesome time.
Yeah,
so.
we'll put the link for the video that we covered the last year in the bottom to make it easier to find. But and it's kind of an event where you get to hang out in medieval clothes and do medieval stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
it's
a way to get a hang out and have a good time, as well as do some rigorous physical activity.
Yeah. So we'll put all the information down below. So be sure to check it out. We'd love to meet you guys out there and show you a thing or two.
Yep.
And yeah. So that concludes the video, guys. We thank you very much for watching, as always. Special thanks to our patron supporters for making the channel happen. You guys are awesome. Here before long, we will be upgrading our camera equipment so that you guys will start seeing our stuff in higher definition, and we'll have microphones.
Yes.
So no more window noise. Woo! So I know you guys have been complaining about that in
Yeah.
previous videos. So we're working towards that, and that's a huge thanks to our Patreon supporters. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. So guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.